everyone. My name is Ellie Erickson, and I am your host here today for Stitch Stories. And here today with me, I have Erika. Hi, Erika.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, Erika?
Nice to meet everyone. My name is Erika of the account Iller Millers on TikTok. Ellie connected with me after seeing one of my patch videos. I am a millennial in San Diego, California, and I'm excited to chat about patches and Miss Ellie here today.
Yes, I love it. And I'm so excited to chat with you too. It's, as we were talking about just before the recording, it's been such a fun experience getting to hear everybody's stories around their patch collections, and I'm really excited to hear yours today. So I guess the first question I have to kind of lead in, what got you into collecting patches? Where did you start?
Well, you're going to regret asking me because I have a long, deep history with this.
I love it. I love it.
I brought out my ye old tub,
Ooh.
actually. So I'm going to take you back in time.
Okay.
The year's 2016, 2017.
Love it.
Patches and pins, I feel like they kind of go together, right?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of come in and out of fashion. I feel like trend. I mean, they're always cool to us, right? Us patch people. But in trend, maybe like every decade or so, they come in and out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like 2016, everyone was wearing those green jackets. Everyone was patching them up. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I shopped online for patches. And I couldn't really find exactly ones that I like. And I'm also an artist, so I actually designed and sold a bunch of patches.
Cool.
Back in the day, I have a bunch of still of my stock that I still,
Wow.
I do it a little bit on the side still.
Yeah.
So, but what started me was, are you a SpongeBob SquarePants fan?
You know, I wish my mom actually, or my parents, when I was younger, were not the biggest fans, so I was not.
I understand that. Okay.
Yes.
So my first like patch from back at that time was this is like, if you're a SpongeBob fan, this is Bubble Buddy, and it's like his bubble friend. That sounds really crazy if you don't really watch it. But so this started me off.
Fun.
But then I started designing a bunch of my own different patches. This one did really well back in the day and sold out a bunch of different times. And I like kept a couple just for me to have because this doesn't you can't buy this anymore. This Send Nudes patch.
Oh.
So, you know, ramen noodles. I mean, this is so dated now, no? But like.
But it's so fun. I love it.
It was cool, right?
Yeah.
So that I kind of like sold to a bunch of different shops back then, like online and then in person. There was like stores in New Orleans that carried my stuff. And like I was on Instagram a lot heavier then, you know, I mean, think of the time it was, right?
Yes, totally.
So, yeah. And then I was able to meet a lot of people there from patches. And then like, I knew you had a question about the trading of the patches, and I would do that really mostly online. We would like mail each other patches and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So really it's kind of sad because after, I don't know, maybe the times 2020, it kind of like, everyone kind of like stopped. People just kind of stopped running their accounts. And I really am only in touch with maybe like 2 or 3 of those people still.
Okay.
But I mean, me too. I'm not even selling them anymore, or like you didn't even know that, right? So like it just kind of fell off. But yeah, I still have them. But my souvenir patches, I wanted to set up with them behind me.
I love it.
Probably what you saw from TikTok. So that's kind of like me and my husband. We love going to national parks, and they always have them at the visitor center stores. So that was okay. So we moved from Knoxville, Tennessee to San Diego, California, and we did this whole like road trip out here, and we were able to stop at a bunch of the parks. So that's really special to me. It means a lot to me that I was able to have that collection.
Yeah. Well, and it commemorates that big move of, you know, moving cross country, and then you also get to have all these fun stops along the way. That's really, really fun. I love it. With the both either your souvenir patches or the ones you created, do you know which one was kind of like, can you remember which was the very first patch you had?
Let me think.
So it's hard to think back through all of this.
I know. Well, let me just talk about the souvenir patches. That's easier for me to think of. So there's one on here, which means a lot to me, from the Trails Head National Frontier Trails Museum. From, where is that in Missouri? right? Independence, Missouri. And that is kind of like Oregon Trail,
Cool.
like kicked off the let me turn around real quick. It says the information on the Oregon, California, and Santa Fe trailheads.
Yep.
So like we felt like, the pioneers like doing our own little thing. So like that's probably my first one that I remember meaning the most to me.
That's awesome. That's very cool. And it even showcases it's the start of that trail. So it's like, not only is it a start for you, but it's also a start of the actual memento itself, which is really
exactly, for sure.
Would you say that currently is your favorite patch, or do you have another one that you kind of consider to be your favorite?
My favorite patch, so there's a couple of them that are actually have like moving parts. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
This is from Capitol Reef National Park.
It's like
a deer jumping, and then this is from San Diego actually. Cabrillo National Monument. It's an octopus, and it's like tentacles move. So I just like that they have a little extra going on with them, probably.
Yeah. A little extra aspect to them. I love that. Yeah, I have one patch from Death Valley National Park, and it's a thermometer. And it's so funny. Before I met my partner, I always had it all the way hot because I'm like, it's the hottest place on earth. It's like their tagline. Now, anytime I see it, it's always switched back to cold, and it stays at cold as like a practical joke. But it's so fun because it has that interactive aspect.
Yes, exactly.
It's fun just to play with.
We love Death Valley. We were able to go to I think I got a patch for that actually. The Dark Sky Festival in 2019 in Death Valley. So it was like people from NASA like came and gave like talks, and they did like sky like dark sky gazing, like little hikes. Well, like little walks. It was kind of scary if you got too far out, right?
if you were too far from the
yeah. So you should like do that. I don't even know if they still do it. They probably still do it. But
I don't know, but even I went just for spring break with my dad and my brother, and we just car camped, and even just like car camping in like the campground parking lots, the stars were amazing. It's just so beautiful.
So beautiful, yes.
I'm sure going to like an organized event, especially where you could like learn and see things, that would just be really, really cool. I love that. Well, the other question I kind of have for you, which I know it's kind of behind you, could you tell me a little bit about the banner you have behind you, how you kind of display your patches, that type of stuff?
So one thing we love to do at the national parks when we go is try to stay at the national park lodging, which is very like classic, like camping, like California Adventure, like Disneyland vibes,
Yeah, for sure.
I actually had to make this banner. I bought some like outdoor fabric, and then this fringe and that rope, and then that's just like a driftwood that I found on the beach that we like put it on.
Love it.
This I don't sew, so this was all just like the hem tape where you like stick it on the edges.
And then just iron it. Right?
Yes, exactly. So I just wanted something that kind of matched that aesthetic of like, the dark khaki and then the dark green, like park ranger style.
Yes. It fits the National Park Service like vibe.
Exactly. And then I had this empty wall in our apartment, so that's kind of helped me with the sizing. And then I also wanted to leave space for some more patches.
Yes.
And it's kind of just been, I've kept it to national parks, national monuments for this one.
Okay, very cool. I love that. Where do you kind of see it going in the future? Do you think if you ever run out of room on this, do you think you'll make another similar one, or do you think you'll display it in another sort of way?
Oh, if I run out of room on this one. Well, actually, we went to the Golden Gate Bridge this past summer, and I have one more to put on here.
Oh, love it.
That's a national monument, so I have another spot to fill up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would probably make another one because I love this thing, and I wouldn't mind having more of that, like, park ranger vibe in my apartment.
Well, and it's fun. You could make it very similar, but maybe a little bit different. And then it's like, okay, these are from this area of my life. These are from another. You could really make it really cool.
For sure.
Yeah, I love it. Well, and I love that you kind of have I shouldn't say rules, but it's, it's, you are saying they're national monuments, national parks, and it has all of that cohesiveness to it. It's really fun to see, and you're like, yep, these are all of my experiences in these places, and I'm sure it's a great conversation starter when anytime somebody comes in, they're like, oh my gosh,
For sure.
this is so
Exactly.
cool. Yeah, like I've been there, or oh, did you like this? Like, oh, that type of stuff.
Yes, for sure.
Love it. Well, love it. Well, so the next question I have for you, you kind of already touched on, but I'd love to hear a little bit more about it, see if it connects to souvenir patches at all. Do you know anybody else that collects like souvenir patches? And if so, have you ever chatted with them about them, heard their stories, that type of thing?
Not really souvenir patches. More of the
Yeah.
people that I connected with from my shop was more like art patches. And I would say there are more magnet people. I'm
Yeah.
also a magnet person too.
I love it. Well, I
But
feel like when you're a collector of one thing, you're kind of a collector of a lot of things.
exactly.
Yes.
We have to have all our little trinkets, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, you
it's
do.
memories too.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like it's the memento. It's an experience. It showcases it. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I would say I've had family buy me set patches from their trips, and I'm like, okay, well, thanks. But no, I would say not really from souvenir patches, really talking to you. This has been awesome, of
Yeah.
course. But yeah, that's really much what it is.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Well, and I was kind of in this similar boat to you, and before I started I knew only one, kind of two other people who had collected patches, and it was actually my dad, and then subsequently my brother, because he got both my brother and I into collecting patches. We were very, I shouldn't say against it, but when we were younger, we were just not interested in it. And then one day it clicked, and now we all three collect patches. It's been really cool. Like we always are. I think my dad, I mean, he has a ton of patches, and now it's just I look at my collection, my brother's collection, and I'm just like, wow, we have so many patches between the three of us. It's actually kind of a little crazy. But I was, aside from them, I was in that similar boat that where I was like, I don't even really know if anybody else collects these. If this is just a weird thing with my family, or if it's like something that a lot of people do. So, well, it's cool to be able for us to connect. And then,
Yeah.
of course, it's cool that you also have connected with patches in another sense, even if it's not souvenir patches.
For
That's
sure.
awesome. Very cool. Can you tell me a little bit more? I'm actually really curious about you kind of trading, swapping patches, even though they weren't those souvenir patches. Can you kind of tell me about, would you guys just trade artwork? Would you try to trade things that like had similar themes to it? What were kind of those experiences?
So it was kind of like, I actually have an example here of one that I traded that I still have like the original card from when she like traded it with
Oh,
me. If
fun.
you can see, it's like bread with like eyes on it.
I love that.
And then there's also like a pat of butter with eyes on it. And like, so like my send nudes patch, it was obviously like food themed. So it would be like if had similar themed art, we would obviously like connect and be friends and connect that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And yeah, we would send other things too, prints,
Cool.
pins,
Yeah.
stickers.
Yeah.
And then my favorites was of course like little handmade notes that everyone put with everything.
Yeah.
So and we would just like connect on Instagram, and because we had stores, we would just feel comfortable sharing our addresses with each other and just mailing
Totally.
each other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, pen
This
pals.
very well. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a little pen pal, but with trinkets. It's like, okay, my
Yes.
trinket pen pal. That's awesome. That's fun. So, did you create in addition to patches? Did you make things like prints and stickers and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did custom clothing. I did prints, stickers, pins. Yeah, I did a bunch of different stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's so fun. That's such a great creative outlet, and being able to share that and showcase that with a lot of different people is really, really cool. I love that.
Yes. Thank you.
With that as kind of like a hobby, whether you're creating or collecting, is it one of those hobbies that you feel is mainly just for you, or do you really find joy in sharing those things with others? Because, of course, with your art, you get to share that with a lot of different people. But when you're like collecting patches for your own like enjoyment, do you find, of course, I know you share with your husband and you guys have like done that there, but do you like enjoy sharing that with people? Sorry, that's a layered question.
No, I get what you're saying. Well, I would say as someone on social media, obviously I like to share, things that mean things to me. And then even though these are like souvenir patches, I really enjoy all the art on them too. So I like to share things like that. But yeah, I would say I also get a lot of enjoyment from myself
Fun.
whenever
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
walk by them and I remember all of our memories. So I would say it's a both
Love it.
universal thing.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah. And you did get that dual enjoyment. It's really fun because being able to share it fulfills you in such a good way, but also being able to see it and know that those memories are commemorated for yourself is a really, really fun thing. I love that. I love that. I love that. My next question for you: have your patches, whether or not they're the souvenir patches behind you or the ones you've sold, have they ever sparked an interesting conversation or something that you maybe didn't expect to be from a patch, but happened nonetheless?
Let me think. Let me open up if these conjure
I
any
know it's like, okay,
memories
let me
for
think through
me.
this for a second.
Um, Gosh, I would say okay. So this is completely unrelated, and actually is my husband's. But he's a big Blink 182 fan.
Love it.
So,
Yes.
they are from San Diego actually,
Oh, okay.
and they had a not like a scavenger hunt, but basically like an album release thing where they went to the old school record shops and you could only like buy certain like patches, pins, things with the
Cool.
album at those stores. So we went to one in Encinitas, Lose Records, and we were able to buy this
Get that patch.
collectible patch. So, and I would say it's just special in that, we talked to the guy that's like been there for forever and probably has even like talked to them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So probably this one. And
Oh,
it's the most different, I would say, from my experience from all of my other patches too.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's so cool. I've never heard of them or like an artist doing that, but that is a really cool and fun idea. And it's like you get that collectible type thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. Limited.
Yes, exactly. You're like, okay, I have to go get this now because it's only for a certain amount of time. Yeah, that sense of urgency, and then it's fun because you look at it afterwards, and you're like, oh, I did end up getting it,
Yep.
despite it being. That's fun. That's really cool to know. I didn't even know that Blink 182 was from San Diego, but that's
Yeah.
really awesome. Cool. Cool. I love it. We'll gotta remember that now. My dad's also a huge fan of Blink 182, so I'll
Yeah.
have to text him and be like, hey, did you know this? But yeah, anyway. Sorry, getting a little sidetracked. I love it. Another question I have for you, and actually my last question that I have for you is similar to how I asked you about your most memorable experience like that with the Blink 182 patch. What is your most memorable conversation you've had surrounding your patches with someone else? Like, has anybody ever asked you, like, what is this? And then you get into another conversation or something like that.
Let me think. I don't know if I have an example of one anymore. But when I mentioned that I saw, oh wait, I do. Yes. Okay. Oh, when I mentioned that store in New Orleans sold my patches,
Mm-hmm.
it was a few different kinds of them, but the most popular one was this fried chicken patch.
Oh my gosh, wait,
So
that's
it's
fun.
literally just like a little chicken drumstick,
Yeah. Yeah.
wing. And it was just from this store because I visited my friend that had just moved there and I loved all of their cool little things they had. And I literally, like, when I moved out here, I emailed them and was like, hey, I started selling these things. I think they would fit in your store. And they were like, yeah, for sure. Like, we love that. We love that you remembered us. We'd love to carry your stuff. And the best selling thing was this fried chicken patch. And this group of women messaged me that they bought a bunch of them for their crew. They call them crews for Mardi Gras, when they do all of the parades and stuff. So they had made all these, like, it was like a fried chicken themed outfits for all the girls, and they had them for their denim jackets. And I was
Oh
like,
my
oh
gosh,
my gosh, I love that so
that's
much.
so fun.
So that's probably my most memorable conversation. Just from, someone seeing them in a
Yeah.
store
Yeah.
from that I went to once,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
then like, what's more iconic than Mardi Gras parades in New
Exactly.
Orleans? So I was
Yeah.
like, that is so awesome. So probably that.
Yeah, well, that's so cool, and that's such a unique story. Like, you see a chicken, like patch, and I would never have thought of like that, but it's so fun to know that they like put them on their jackets. They like are representing. Like, that's really really fun. I love that. Oh, fun. Well, I love it. Is there anything else? Any other patch? That's my like sub last question. Is there any other patch or anything that really stands out to you and is really, really important to you and just want to showcase to all the viewers and so you can see?
Let me think. This one. This is also one that has sold out that you can't buy anymore because
love it.
it's kind of a nightmare to keep in stock because it's glow in the dark, right?
Ooh, love it.
So it says on here, there is no dark side of the moon. And it's kind of a play on the Pink Floyd album cover, Dark Side of the Moon. So just a space lesson for everyone. There is no dark side of the moon.
I love it.
So that's my final word.
Yes, that's your parting thought is just remember, there is no dark side of the moon. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, fun. Well, thank you, Erika. I really, really appreciate you sitting down and chatting with me. It's so cool to hear about all of your stories, both with the patches you've collected and the patches you've made. That's such a cool thing. And I just love that you've been able to showcase your art in that way. That's awesome.
Thank you. It's been so nice talking to you.